Someone said your rabbit looks a bit chubby, and now you are looking at your bunny wondering, is that just fluff and a round shape, or is my rabbit actually overweight? It is a really common situation, especially here, because a lot of our rabbits live in small flats, do not get much exercise, and get a few too many treats from people who love them. So let me help you figure out if your rabbit is carrying extra weight and how to help them slim down the safe, kind way. I'm a fellow rabbit owner here in Singapore, not a vet. This is how I think about weight with my own rabbits and what comes up in the local rabbit groups, where a surprising number of our bunnies are a bit too round. It is not medical advice. It is one owner helping you manage your rabbit's weight sensibly and being very clear that you never crash diet a rabbit and that some weight issues belong with a vet, not a feeding tweak. Let me start with how you actually tell, because fluffy fur hides a lot and a round shape is not the same as fat. The best way is by feel, not by looks, and it is the same body condition check the vets use. Run your hands gently over your rabbit's sides, along the ribs, and down the spine and hips. On a healthy weight rabbit, you should be able to feel the ribs and the backbone with a light press, a bit like feeling the bones on the back of your own hand through the skin, there but with a thin cover over them. If you press and the ribs and spine are buried under a thick padding of fat and you really have to dig to find them, your rabbit is overweight. If the bones stick out sharply with no cover at all, your rabbit is too thin. You are aiming for that middle bones you can feel easily but not see. Other clues to extra weight are a big bulging dewlap, the fold under the chin, rows of fat on the sides, and a rabbit that struggles to reach round to groom its own bottom. That last one is not just cosmetic, and it leads me to why this matters. An overweight rabbit is not a healthy, happy rabbit, and the extra weight causes real problems. A fat rabbit often cannot twist round to clean its own bottom, which means droppings and mess build up back there. And in our hot, humid climate, that is a magnet for flies and for a horrible condition called fly strike, where flies lay eggs on a dirty rabbit. That alone is a serious reason to keep your rabbit trim. On top of that, carrying extra weight strains the joints, makes movement harder, makes them more prone to painful sore spots on the feet, puts stress on the heart, and makes any future surgery or anesthetic riskier. So slimming an overweight rabbit down is genuinely about their health and comfort, not their looks. Now, how to help them lose weight safely. And the golden rule first, slow and steady, never sudden. You must never starve a rabbit or crash diet it. A rabbit's gut has to keep moving constantly, and a rabbit that suddenly stops eating, even because you cut its food too hard, can develop a dangerous gut slowdown very fast. So weight loss in a rabbit is a gentle, gradual thing over weeks and months, never a drastic cut. With that firmly in mind, here is how it is done. The first and biggest lever is the diet, and specifically the things that are not hay. Remember, a healthy rabbit diet is around 80% hay, unlimited all day. Hay is the one thing you never restrict, even on a diet, because it is low calorie, high fiber, and keeps the gut moving. So step 1 is make sure your rabbit always has plenty of fresh hay and is actually eating lots of it. Then you trim the calorie-dense extras. Cut the pellets back toward the proper small measured amount, about a tablespoon per kilo a day, or even slightly less for a chubby bunny, and switch to plain grass pellets if you are not already, ditching any muesli-style mix. And the treats, the fruit, the carrot, the commercial sugary stuff, those come right down, because that is very often where the extra weight came from in the first place. Keep the leafy greens going as the healthy fresh part, but it is the pellets and the sweet treats you pull back. More hay, fewer pellets, far fewer treats. That is the heart of a rabbit diet. The denition lever is movement, and this is where our living situation really matters. A lot of Singapore rabbits are kept in a cage or a small pen most of the day, and a rabbit that cannot move much is a rabbit that gains weight easily. So give your rabbit more space and more time out. Let it run, and a rabbit that is free to roam a rabbit-proofed area, or that gets several hours of supervised out-of-cage time a day, will naturally burn more energy and tone up. Encourage activity with things to hop on and explore, tunnels, boxes, and a bit of foraging, like scattering their greens or hiding a little hay around so they have to move to find it. You can even toss a treat a short distance to get them hopping for it. A rabbit that moves more and eats fewer sweets slims down naturally. It these days. Our flats are small and our weather is hot. And on a sweltering day, a rabbit understandably does not feel like bounding around, which makes exercise harder to come by. So a lot of our rabbits are under-exercised through no fault of anyone. The answer is to make the most of the cooler parts of the day, mornings and evenings, for active out-of-cage time, and to keep their space, even if small, set up to encourage movement rather than just sitting. And if your rabbit is in an air-conditioned room, that is actually a help, because a comfortable, cool rabbit is far more willing to be active than a hot, listless one. There is a household angle to weight too, and it is the quiet reason a lot of diets fail. In a busy flat, the rabbit works the room. It begs at mom, gets a treat, then begs at the kids, gets another, then dad tops it up at night, and the carefully planned diet quietly falls apart because nobody is counting across the whole household. So if you are serious about slimming your rabbit down, get everyone on the same page, agree who gives food, agree the day's small treat allowance, and maybe keep that allowance in one little container, so once it is gone, it is gone. A rabbit cannot tell you it has already been fed 5 times, so the discipline has to come from the people. Urge the alphas to swap the kind of treats you use rather than just cutting them. Instead of a piece of banana or a sugary shop treat, reward your rabbit with a sprig of fresh herb, a bit of its leafy greens, or simply a few minutes of your attention and a new cardboard box to wreck. Rabbits crave enrichment as much as food, so a lot of the begging is really boredom, and giving them something to do rather than something to eat helps the waistline and the happiness at the same time. A bored caged rabbit eats out of nothing better to do. A busy, stimulated rabbit does not. Let me set realistic expectations, because slow really does mean slow. Weight loss in a rabbit happens gently over weeks and months, and that is exactly how it should be. Weigh your rabbit regularly on a kitchen scale once a week, and write it down so you can see the gradual trend rather than guessing. A slow, steady decline toward a healthy weight is the goal. If the weight is dropping fast, that is not a diet success. That is a warning sign, because fast weight loss in a rabbit can mean something is wrong. Gentle and gradual is healthy. Rapid is a red flag. And that brings me to the honest health line. Weight management is a diet and lifestyle thing you do at home. But some things around weight are firmly vet territory, and I want you to know the line. First, never let a diet tip your rabbit into not eating. If at any point your rabbit stops eating, or stops producing droppings, or goes quiet and hunched, that is a get to a rabbit savvy vet straight away situation. The same day, diet or no diet. Second, if your rabbit is losing weight when you have not changed anything, or losing it quickly, that is a vet question, not something to be pleased about, because unexplained weight loss can signal an underlying problem. And if your rabbit is so overweight it cannot groom its bottom, keep that area clean and get a vet involved, especially in our fly season climate. I am a fellow owner, not a vet, so I will not diagnose anything. I am telling you that not eating and any sudden or unexplained weight change means you pick up the phone. Let me bring it together. Check your rabbit's weight by feel, aiming for ribs and spine you can feel easily but not see. An overweight rabbit faces real risks, from a dirty bottom and fly strike in our climate, to joint and heart strain. To slim them down, keep hay unlimited. Cut the pellets back to the proper small amount, slash the sugary treats, and add far more movement using the cooler parts of the day. Go slow and steady over weeks, never crash diet, and weigh weekly to track the gentle trend, and treat any rabbit that stops eating or any sudden or unexplained weight change as a vet emergency. A final encouraging word. The best time to sort this is before it becomes a big problem. So even if your rabbit is only a little round, nudging the diet and the exercise now is far easier than tackling a seriously overweight rabbit later. Small adjustments, kept up consistently, do the work. Helping a rabbit reach a healthy weight is one of the kindest things you can do for them, because a trim rabbit moves better, grooms better, and simply feels better, and the fixes, more hay, fewer treats, more hopping about, are good for them in every other way too. And be patient and kind with yourself in the process, because a chubby rabbit usually got that way slowly out of love and a few too many treats, and it comes off slowly too. You are not fixing a mistake, you are adjusting a routine, and rabbits do beautifully on more hay, more space, and a little less of the sweet stuff. Give it time and your bunny will thank you for it with more zoomies and more binkies. If this helped, come over to singaporerabbit.com. We put out a free weekly digest made for Singapore rabbit owners, plain and practical, with local diet and care tips. And we keep a directory of rabbit-savvy vets right there for when a weight worry needs a professional eye. It is all free and all made for owners here at home. And if these are useful, subscribe and stick around, because the next video is about spotting and responding to heat stroke in a rabbit, which in our climate is one of the most important things you can know. I will see you there.